Right, a very good morning, a good afternoon, and good evening to everybody on frequency. This is ZA6YI running the net today. Not many people on. I think the time zones have played a big role about this. But anyway, it's what it is. We don't have too many people on frequency today, unfortunately, so it's going to be a short net. In a way, it does suit me. It suits me very much because I've got young William here with me from the UK, my young grandson, and he's sitting in the shack. I don't want to show him on screen because last time YouTube got cut us off for a few weeks because I showed a young Leslie. Leslie was doing some tests for me, so that was a problem. Anyway, as I said, I've got young Leslie in the shack, and maybe you guys can say hi. He lives in London, and he's 6 years old, and he's sitting in the shack. I can just quickly just show his face. There's Les. There we go, and that's enough. I don't think YouTube will complain too much about that. Anyway, let's just see. There's only 3 guys on the list today, and let's see who they are. I'm just going to switch over, and we have myself. Leon couldn't make it. He's back at work actually, and so the net result is he won't be here until I think the end of November, to be honest. So right, let us see. Phil, to you, sir. Mike Zero Papa India Tango to please take it from ZA6 Yankee India.
Right, there we go. Right, we've got audio. Yeah, we've got audio there. Oh, right. Right. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. And a special hello to Leslie. I hope Grandad is keeping you under control. Probably not. Right, yeah, I don't really have a lot to talk about, really. Nothing really sort of electronics or radio that's been happening during the week. I've been quite quiet on that front. But it's a shame Leon's, because last WW Net, Leon showed aircraft in because from blue through is very, very when it comes to sound. It's not particularly nice stuff to play around with. That's with my limited knowledge, and I could be totally wrong, but I must admit I was a bit concerned when Leon had that in his hand and said that the radiation seems to pass through lead. Anyway, that's enough of that. What else can I talk about? I can have a moan. I can have a real moan, I think. These things. SD cards. I hate them. I really hate them. For the reason it's sometimes they appear to work, and other times they don't. And this morning I was going to clone an SD card, an image on a Raspberry Pi that I got, and I thought, well, I'll clone that. So I took it out and I put it into my SD reader, and I plugged it in to my PC. Okay, that's Linux, and nothing happened. Didn't see it. I took it out, plugged it in umpteen times, and it still didn't see it. So I went over and I plugged it into a Windows machine that I powered up, and I plugged it into that. Still didn't see it. And I was virtually going to throw the damn thing in the bin. When I plugged it back into the Linux machine, then up it came. And you can see all the file structure in it, all the files were there. And then, okay, fine, it's working, and I don't know. And I tried it again later and it didn't work, and then finally it did. I just haven't got a clue, and I hate the damn things. Once they're running, they appear to be alright, but I don't know if it's this that causes me the problem, or because I've got a reader in one of my laptops, so I can use one of these adapters, which I did, and it didn't seem to make any difference. So I don't know. Perhaps Paul might have a bit more experience and understanding of SD cards than I do, but they certainly cause me a lot of grief. And you see that one there, and I still don't know. I can't get that one to work at all, but I haven't thrown it out because I think maybe tomorrow it might work. So I've just written US on it. But yeah, if Paul's got any knowledge on SD cards and can explain what on earth is going on, I'll probably much appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, that's really about me. I don't really have a great deal else to talk about. I mean, it's a bit of a shame, really. There's not. Anyhow, so I'm going to hand it over to you then, Paul. So I'll give you a few seconds. So then I shall put up a test card. Well, let's put up an entertaining test card, shall I? If I can find it. Where is it? It's down the bottom here somewhere. Here it is. I'll put this one up. Then I'll kill carry on. It's over to you then, Paul.
Is there any audio? Is there any audio? Yeah, that's also working. So, good afternoon, Gary. Good afternoon, Phil. And of course, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all who is watching the net at the moment. And Gary, thanks for hosting the net as usual. Also good. And greetings to Leslie was his name, I remember. Okay, looking at the weather in the Netherlands, well, last night and also this morning it was really stormy, but the storm has gone, meaning that we have wind speeds now up to, I think, 50 kilometers an hour. That is not that bad anymore, and sometimes it's raining, sometimes there is a bit of sun. That describes how it is outside. Okay, Looking at the, let's say, regular participants from the Netherlands, it might be that they are watching the RF seminar, which is organized at the moment on a website of the University of Twente. And Mr. Erik Kaashoek is speaking about his latest development, which is a counter with built-in GPS receiver. So I think that quite some people are watching that seminar at the moment. That might be the reason. Well, let's first of all respond, Phil. I do have the same experience like you had with your SD cards. You hate them. Well, I don't hate them. I simply throw them away or put them aside when it doesn't work. And quite recent, I had the same experience with a navigation system on my mobile home. I did insert an SD card with the latest maps, and it did not work. It did not work at all. I did not understand why. When I did insert the SD card into my PC, it was no problem at all to read and write on it, but my navigation did not see it. And then I exchanged some information with the vendor, and they said, oh, well, that is simple. You need to use a Samsung SD card. And I thought, that's not true. But actually, I bought a Samsung SD card, inserted it into the navigation unit, and it worked. The question is, what's the difference? I've got no clue whatsoever. But I also did not invest any time in studying what the reason could be. I simply accepted the fact, okay, I need to insert a Samsung SD card and then my navigation will work. But to be more precise, looking at the Raspberry Pi, I've got many of them. I never experienced problems, Phil. It always worked so far. Okay. Furthermore, I wasn't present last week. But I watched the transmissions via YouTube some days later, and I also saw Ed with his development on this multiband transceiver together with the add-on Pluto, and that is really interesting. I know he's not the first one doing it, but still, it is interesting to see his progress in the near future. Furthermore, I tried the latest release of Simon with SDR television together with my Libre SDR, and at the receiver side it worked immediately, so that is good. But at the transmitter side, I did not manage yet to connect it to OBS. I did install the virtual camera plugin. Successfully, I think, but in some way it does not connect to SDR television. Okay, you don't have to respond. I simply have to put more time into it and read the manual more carefully, and then I will get it to work. At least that's what I expect. Well, what happened furthermore? I went to the, for English people, it's the MOT, the inspection of my MGTD, an English car, a 1950 English car. The last time I went there, the front brakes did not pass the test. I tuned the front brakes, went to the test again, and the automatic test equipment in Amsterdam failed within 2 minutes, and I was sent away. The car again did not pass. Yeah, that's really not easy. Due to the fact that there is more than 30% performance, and that is not okay. Furthermore, that measurement machine in Amsterdam at the MOT site, that's an automatic machine. So, you simply start to brake, and immediately it sees that there is this difference in brake performance, and then, okay, test failed. again. That's really nasty. I will try to repair that this week and go to the test again, because it has to be passed to get my license plate, and secondly, of course, I want to insure the car. Okay, that happened. Furthermore, already told that 2 weeks ago, I think, we will have elections in the Netherlands on Wednesday, and since I'm not only interested in cars and not only interested in radio communication, I'm also interested in Dutch politics. The fact that we have elections means that reading all the material and looking at the different discussions on TV and so on, that takes also quite a lot of time. Let's see what happens, because the last cabinet fell after they were active for 10 months. It was a complete chaos, and we need something better than what we had last time. Okay, that's it. Let's have a look at the list, whether other people... Oh, Martin! That's unbelievable. Martin in the field. That's good. I will put the camera and the microphone to Martin from Papa Echo number 1 Alpha Victor Papa.
Right, I haven't even checked whether the audio works. I just rushed in. Yeah, that's working. I've been listening a little bit. DATV SDR television rather. When you put the right virtual camera plug in, you obviously don't need to start it up in OBS. You don't click on the blue virtual camera thing, but it appears as a camera when you look on SDR television. So select from the list as the input has been a camera. I could demonstrate it, but at the moment I'm running. I could switch on, but the GPS will take time to kick in. What have I been up to? I tracked on all sorts of things, to be quite honest. Probably the last thing was SAQ transmission, which we bring up SDR console, which is what I use to receive things. Right, let's see whether I can. I'm a bit unprepared, but anyway, we'll go to SDR console to start with. Right, now we need to stop that, hopefully, and we go to record playback, and we open. Now, I got lots of interference on the day, but the test transmission the day before was fine, but we'll go see whether we can play the actual transmission of SAQ. I've got the audio on, might not. No, I don't think I've got the audio on. But hopefully, if I go to the right spot, which helps if you tune into it. Right. So let's put that into the centre. That's the start signs of SAQ tuning up, and you can see the stability beneath it. I'll let it run a bit. Hopefully it should put a bit of CW, but as they adjusted things, it's the best I've got it using an eProbe. set on the top of one of those typical flagpoles that you get at concerts, etc. There you go, so it's tuning it up. Looks good, doesn't it? Yeah, I think that says they're tuning it to the actual aerial. But quite fascinating. I'll keep it running for a bit as there wasn't many people on. Hopefully it should start. All the hash you're getting beneath here, this noise floor is double about what it was. Suddenly something kicked in, whether it was the solar panels around here or whatever. I don't know, but come on, I've got to move things on a bit. See, when you don't actually test things out before, well, I'll kill the audio until it starts. Oh, there we go. Well, I'll go back to me and stop that. It says, oh, where's the stop button? I can't see now for looking. Stop. Don't get old and have poor eyesight, but was quite humoured with that. That was working well. Also been doing the dreaded looking at the aircraft locally. It's I just I don't know why to get to the virtual radio as they call it, but I need to get a better aerial up. But that's using. Let's go over to Queen. That's just a few aircraft I get here. It's not up very high. And just using one of the cheap old dongos, the RTL dongo, which worked well. So we've been playing with that to show you I've been doing a few things. And we're using dump the RTL 1090, which this works a treat, I must admit. Also been playing with Whisper. So I got sort of sidetracked there, decided I'd test the aerial out. Right, at the moment we're transmitting on, let's get back to the camera, 80, 40 and 20. I've been transmitting most of the morning. Let's see what the propagation is from my end-fed half-wave, which has got a 49 to 1 balun on it, which is working quite well. Also aim to play with some aerials down the very low frequency end. Yeah. Can't think what else I've been doing really. At gardening and all the usual bits and pieces. But oh, PA, that was it. I forgot nearly. I did have problems when I was working field with the PA. The power started going up and down. So if we go to my images, that was the offending item. The main power was fed through the die-cast box, and it, for whatever reason, obviously wasn't a good connection, and got very hot, and caused all sorts of problems. I had problems getting the. I'm not using that anymore. I've hardwired it in. But I nearly forgot that I had that. I thought Phil had passed his problem over to me, but not. So that's what they should look like when they're new. Anyway, we've made it. I think we're still transmitting. Anyway, yeah, we've still got audio. I didn't actually look how strong I was, but I think we're okay. Yeah, oh yeah, D3. I'm receiving myself. To a camera. And to give an idea of what the setup is this end, that's the station. The little monitor over there is using the ride receiver, which is also what I use when I do a stream. Got the 3 main monitors. This other little monitor monitors my SRT repeater, which when I was monitoring SAQ, John JTT was putting pictures at the top side. I was in the bottom. I didn't able to get 4 pictures on this, so we were better compare the signals he was getting and the signals I was getting, and just to record it for posterity, I was getting them stronger than him. I keep mentioning that. Yeah, I'm guaranteed he won't be listening at the moment. I think he's got tied up with doing a few domestic bits and pieces. But yeah, right. That's a long waffle from me. That's to make up for not being around. So I'll put a test cart, and well, I'll say that someone else might have joined in, mightn't they? It says have to look. Make sure no one else has joined in. And I haven't been monitoring I'm monitoring the chat, but no one else is there. I'll do a refresh just in case. Right, over to you then, Gary. Test card, it's all yours from G8 Kiwi.
I'm going back on, boy. Okay, Martin. G8 KOE. ZA6YI. I just hope the audio is okay. Hello test, hello test. Yes, sounds like it. Yeah, it's been a long time since we've seen you, and welcome back. I hope Carol's doing well, and it's lovely to see you on. Hello to you, Paul. Yeah, I can't believe they've failed you again on that MOT, automatic or not. I think that's just been cruel, and perhaps you should have been humbled before you let off steam the first time. They've got long memories, these officials, and they're going to mess you around till goodness knows when. I did predict that, I'm sorry. But yeah, spiteful people. And okay, you say their machine just suddenly failed it. So why must you have such wonderful electronic machinery on a motor vehicle that's 50, 60 years old? It's crazy. Anyway, try and get paper plates for the time being. To hell with them, if you want to go around. Yeah, by the way, it's not Leslie with me in the shack. I made a mistake. It's little William. He lives in the UK, and my little grandson, he's 6 years of age. He arrived on Wednesday, and they're flying back on Wednesday. His mother brought out all the Leo Bodner GPSs that the lightning took out. Leo Bodner repaired it at a very reasonable price. And so she brought them out for me, and also to see us, of course. So that was very nice. And I'm sending another one. I forgot when I sent the package with my friend, Dr. Plitt, I forgot one that was behind on my ICOM 9700, I think they call the thing. Yeah. And the other day, that was yesterday, I had to do a transmission with a school in Switzerland with HB9 KOG. And to my dismay, earlier I realized, Martin, and maybe you can help me sometime, there's been quite a few updates since I had SDR console. So I've got the latest SDR console, and for the life of me, I can't remember how to get my transmitter to work. I went onto the transmitter, and it's all changed now. And but I got the receiver to work, fortunately. At first I couldn't get good audio out of it. It was very weak. Turned up my computer audio to discover that my volume setting on the actual SDR console software was turned very low. Turned that up and the house blew up. But anyway, I wouldn't mind a few pointers how to get this darn thing working again, the SDR console on transmit. I just couldn't do it. Anyway, we'll leave that for another day when you've got more time. And yeah, talking about SD cards, I got this from, let me see if I can just do this. I got some time back from the RSGB. No, sorry, it was another magazine, the Elector. I got this little thing. I hope it'll focus. I got that USB with a tiny card in the back. And that's all the magazines since about 1974 or something. So it works. You just plug a little card into that little adapter, and away we went. So that's quite handy. I found that by accident because, you know, everything's in disarray. We're also painting the house, and so everything is in a bit of turmoil. Although the painter is very good, he cleans up nicely and keeps things logical, but it's still illogical in this shack. Now, I just want to say hi to Ashley from Windsor in the UK. That's Golf Echo 8 Papa, Delta Papa Hotel. He's watching like he normally does. Hi, Ashley. And then to 7B Zulu Yankees. 7BZY is watching. Ural Rider. I don't know who that may be, but a very warm welcome to you. Unfortunately, we haven't got a very big DATV net today. Let me just turn this volume down. And then we have Papa Uniform 2, Oscar Zulu Kilo. And he's watching, I think, from the Netherlands as well, PU2OZK. I think it's the Netherlands. A warm welcome. We've got 24 viewers at the moment, 11 concurrent. Yeah, I'm going to make this the final over from my end. I have little William in the shack, and he's looking for my laptop. He's playing a game called Whittle or something on New York Times. Amazing, these little 6-year-olds and the way they know their way around laptops and what have you. And it's quite amazing, actually. Anyway, I had a spot of problems just now with my reception, and I don't know why that would have been. But I kept dropping out the signal from your side, Phil. And it's on 2 different receivers, so I don't know what's happening. Somebody was keying us out or what. But I had a few freezes, and I had one such an incident with you, Paul, but luckily nothing on Martin, and it doesn't look like any on my side, so who knows what that was all about. But it's unusual that I don't have good reception. So I'll have to check that as well. We've had a big windstorm about half an hour before we started, so maybe the dish has moved ever so slightly. All right, back to you, Phil. Mike 0 Papa India Tango from ZA6YI.
Turn speakers off. Let's get feedback. Yeah, my PA is a bit on the cool side, so it's got more gain than what it normally has. It's a bit overpower, but it's warming up now, so my level's going to start to come down. Hopefully not too much, but there we go. Yeah. Yeah, SD cards, yeah. Yeah, thanks, Paul. Let me get Gary to say it works every time. Oh dear, I don't know. Yeah, not very good when the manufacturer said, oh well, you have to use ours. That really does, so. Red rag to a bull, as we say in the UK. Yeah, if I hear that, I'll make a beeline to sort it out to work out what the issues are, because I just don't like that. I just do not like it. Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I dislike Microsoft. You have to do everything their way. I like doing things my way. Anyhow, I must not moan. Yeah, Paul, politics, no, I don't go there. No, I've bumped into not many, but I've bumped into a few politicians. And one in particular I can remember. No names. Not very famous, he was a local councillor. It was when I worked for the county council, and I had a big monitor, one of the old monitors, in my arms, got it out of the car, and I'm heading to the building, and it's a Victorian, quite old building, with big door, big oak door, and in front of me is this politician, and carrying this monitor like this, and he's in front of me, and the door, it's got an automatic close on it, so he goes through the door, and I've got this big heavy monitor. He knows I'm behind him, and what did he do? He let the door go. So yeah, so that was, I wasn't very happy. So I had to put the monitor down, open the door, stick my rear end in against the door, pick up the monitor, and then twist round to get in. Yeah, I remember that very distinctly. Yeah, I don't get on with politicians. But there we go. No more politics. Yeah, it's good to see you on the net, Martin. Yes, we did talk about your terminal getting rather warm. It's obvious that now that you've hardwired it in, it's resolved the issue. Yeah, I've never had any problems with those terminals, but there again, I've never really run, the type of current that we're running through. I mean, it's what, 10 amps or whatever it is we're putting through those terminals. I know when I bought some terminals when I was building my Portsdown power supply. I wanted to put a couple of terminals on the back, and I bought some off of eBay, and I found these really big ones and absolutely ginormous. I'm not sure what they're rated at. I think they're rated at about 20 odd amps, but they're absolutely huge. And I know when I built mine, I toyed with the idea, shall I use the big ones or the small ones? But I ended up using the smaller ones, and they're still fine. Last time I was out there was no problem with them at all. So maybe you, so I suppose you get some oxide in there, I suppose, and that would, once they start to heat up, of course, and it's a one-way trip, because the more hot they get, the more oxide's produced, and the more resistance there is, and it just escalates to the point where it stops working. But there we go. Yeah, I don't really have a great deal to talk about. I'm thinking that maybe during the week, I might drag out my old Pico tuner, because as you know, I run Linux, and I was not very successful in getting the Pico tuner to work properly. It did work, but it was an issue with the video stream, and I was getting errors on the video stream, and I never really got to the bottom of it. I mean, that must have been, I don't know how many years ago, that must have been a good over a year ago, maybe 2 years, and things have moved on, and so maybe I should resurrect it and get it going again, and see if with a new version of VLC or whatever I was using, that issue has been resolved. That'll give me something to do during the week, wouldn't it? But there we go. Right, I'm waffling. can't think of much else to say. Yeah, thanks for hosting the net, Gary, and hello to little William, who's deep in a PC by the sound of it, or a laptop or whatever. But yeah, so right, so I'm going to hand it over to you then, Paul. Well, you might want to get ready. So I should put up a test card, not a wobbly test card. I'll put up this rather than a test card. I'll put up this if I can find it. I can't find it now, can I? Yes, I can. I'll put up this, a fractal image. Then I shall kill carrier, and it'll be over to you then, Paul.
Okay, it seems to work. That's good. I can check my my audio, my own audio. Yeah, that also works. Perfect. Yeah, thank you, Phil. Yeah, Martin, really good to see you again. That's a long time ago for me. It must be 4 weeks ago where I raised the question, how's Martin? And I heard something went wrong with your wife, Martin. You did not talk about it, but hopefully it is better now. Yeah, you talked about things like, what is it? The ports down. And that did remind me on the DATV Net yesterday. I spent quite some time to look and listen at several lectures, and that really was interesting, at least to my opinion. I do really appreciate the fact that people do things like this. Although perhaps I'm not going to build it myself. A good example is Ham TV. I really did like the lecture about it, but that is not something that I'm going to do myself. But again, I do appreciate the fact that there are people, that there are radio amateurs, yeah, doing these kind of experiments and are building equipment for it. So I did enjoy it. Okay, furthermore, what should I respond to? Yeah, the SD cards, we talked about it. You know my experience. I did not really spend time in it, but there must, of course, there must be a reason for it. Why one card doesn't work and the other one does. Yeah, furthermore, Gary, yeah, excuses, it's little William and not Leslie, what I thought. Little William, hello there. Yeah, the people at the MOT, they do have a long memory, and indeed it was the same person like last time. So yeah, you simply do not pass that automatic test, and you're sent out again. It's that simple. But this car is not only 50 years old, it is 75 years old. And yeah, looking at the requirements, I have to fulfill the same requirements as a modern car. And that is rather problematic, I can tell you. Okay, let's see. I simply will continue and try to get it right, of course, because I have to pass. Okay, yeah, you were raising a question, Gary, about SDR radio. I'm still using SDR radio 3.1, that's an old version. And of course, to get SDR television up and running, I also did install the latest version, but I never used it. That version on its own for the narrowband transponder. So no, I cannot exchange any information. But you're right, the user interface changed quite a lot. Okay, yeah, Martin, politics. Well, the example that you gave about the counselor and your, let's say, big monitor moment and the door, that more seems to me narcissistic behavior. Huh? That is more psychology than politics. Yeah, but of course, it might be that you met a narcissistic person. That could well be. Okay, yeah, the Pico tuner. I don't have Pico tuners. Of course, I'm using the mini tuner, but that is with the FTDI chips still and USB interfaces, and since that works well, there was no reason to change it to the Pico tuner. At least for me, there was no reason. I built the Winterhill receiver, and I really enjoy that one. It's yeah, very simple to stream in your house over the LAN network, and that is what I enjoy. Yeah, basically, then I'm looking at what Martin told. Yeah, the virtual camera plugin, I did install it, Martin, but I don't see it yet in SDR television. But again, I have to spend more time on it. It was just an experiment of, let's say, 15 minutes or so, and I did not get it up and running at the transmit side. But I'm going to be successful. At least that's what I expect. You talked about the interference during the day. Yeah, that's the same here, and related to all the electronics equipment in the neighborhood that is creating a lot of interference and disturbance. Oh yeah, the connector that you did show. I had exactly the same. These connectors are not suited to high power or high currents. So that's the simple reason. They are too cheap. They are simply not the right ones to be used in power supplies with 20 amps, for example. So you need to search for something else, Martin. Yeah, basically that's it. Gary said this was my last over. We can give it a try, but I think then the camera and microphone goes back to Martin. I say hello already, or bye-bye to everyone watching. This was my last over. Wish you a pleasant week from Papa Echo number 1 Alpha Victor Papa.
Right, hopefully we've got it. Let's make sure the sound. Right, yep, we've got sound. Let's turn that down. SD cards. I think the problem with SD cards is the same sort of problem that you've got with XLR connectors. There's a standard produced for an XLR connector, and the Chinese, etc., copied it and got it wrong. So you'll find a lot of problems with connectors and such like. And I think probably the same is with the spec that was for SD cards. You know, the whole plastic, the whole sort of thing, which is why they probably specify certain virtual camera, OBS virtual camera. That I'm going to get rid of that's better. Let's shrink it down. Yes, that's what I wonder was the was very much for stuff which just I don't know whether we've got any over to that one. I can zoom in a bit. That's what the band